everyone. My name is Lori Rubin. I'm here with the fabulous Tony Sweet. Hi, Tony. How are you today?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Lori.
Oh, we're so excited to have Tony join us today. Now, Tony was the judge for the Urban Exploration Photo Contest for ViewBug just recently. And he had the pleasure of going through about 40 images or so, and I think you had over 6,000 submissions. It's just incredible the amount of submissions on these wonderful photo contests. So what we're going to do today is we're going to see what Tony was looking for in his winning image. He's also picked a few runner-ups. We're going to talk about the People's Choice and the amateur winner as well. So let's go ahead and I'm going to give you a little introduction to Tony, the man. Tony does many workshops, as you can see, all over the world. And gosh, if you have an opportunity to join him, I would say do it, because he is, besides being a wonderful person, he's a fantastic instructor. Now, Tony started out as a jazz musician, an educator, and professional magician. So some of you folks might not know that. And then he went into film photography, moved into the digital age. But he's a speaker, an author, instructor. He's published worldwide, including an article on macro photography in the New York Times. He's got books and DVDs. Just an incredible photographer. But you know what? Tony is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And I really say that sincerely, Tony. You are just wonderful. So it's a real honor to have you join us today. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go to this page here. Now we're in collaboration with our friends at Macphun. And what we're doing here is this particular contest. The people that have entered have a chance to win. There's a grand jury winner, which Tony is going to reveal today. And so they're going to get some great prizes, as well as the People's Choice and amateur winner. And here's some more about Macphun. You should check out their products. They do wonderful plugins. And I know Tony and myself both use them. So you might want to check that out as well. So you can go to this page, the Urban Exploration Photo Contest page. It'll also be a link as well to this particular video as well. Okay, yeah, we had 6,840 submissions. Pretty fantastic.
Wow.
Pretty
Wow.
crazy, huh?
Wow.
And so here we are. We've got, he had 44 to choose from. I kind of narrowed it down. So we're going to talk about some of these images here and see what Tony was looking for in a winning image. He's going to give you some tips along the way. I really consider, when I think of urban, photography, urbex, I think of Tony Sweet. So he's one of the best out there. So let's go ahead and get started, Tony. What do you say? Ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, we're going to pick one of his first runner-ups here. So this is called Reflections. So Tony, why did you pick this particular one as a runner-up?
Well, I mean, let me just say, first of all, that many of those 44 shots were absolutely excellent, so it was tough to pick. But my basic criterion, since, you and I both see a lot of different pictures, Lori, all the time, is something different, something in the margins of it, something off to the side, something not in the mainstream, things you don't see every day. Because there are cliche urban shots that we all have. I've got a bunch of them too. So I'm trying to find things that are highly unusual, and this is one of them. I mean, look at it. It's just pretty amazing. One guy pushing a ball is just amazing, and having the city reflected in there is outstanding. Also, I'm kind of 50-50 on the face being black. I'm not sure if that was done intentionally in software and processing, or if that's how it came across. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of detail, and people may differ on that. Again, this is very subjective, but it's a really great shot. I mean, it's tremendous. I like it a lot.
Yeah, lots of curves in there, isn't there? Even the curve of the railing,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting right here, and the ball, and even inside, lots of curves.
Big fish eye lens.
Yep, there you go. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one here. This one is called, let's see, is this Beware of the Joker by Margaret N. Very interesting.
It is, and again, going through these pictures, I didn't just go through them back and forth, kind of go through them back and forth, and then when something stops me, and I may not even know why, but something gets into my id a little bit, and it's like, wait a minute, there's something going on here. Then I look at it a bit closer, and this has that great visual irony of the futuristic Big Brother looking down, looking at the person walking by, and the very jagged lines going up the walkway, and just very dramatic. Just a little bit of motion in the person, not too much, not just the right amount of blur, which gives you a sense of motion, the dark shadow behind a long shadow. And again, the Joker almost looks like it's like inset into the wall, like it's a three-dimensional the way it's inset. It's really very clever, good shot. There's probably a grab shot. Just, oh wait a minute, real quick and got the shot. So it's a great shot to get, and just the overall situation there was just tremendous. I think it's outstanding. I do.
Yeah, that little pop of red here and there kind of does it as well, don't you think? The color?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is called Fast Track Love. Now, what made you stop in your tracks and say, hey, this is a good image to talk about?
Well, it's got what I call visual irony. You know, you have if you look at the couple, obviously they're both lit up in the face, which is essential in this kind of shot, in my opinion. So your eye goes right to them. Then if you go beyond that, there's a train going by behind them, I believe, and that separates them from the background, which gives a three-dimensional kind of a look. And if you look further, as you explore the image on the far left-hand side, there's another person or two sticking out of the window, I believe, in the train. It looks to be.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an irony going back and forth of the two groups of people, and just the fact that the blur behind the couple really makes it stand out, you know, and the lighting is tremendous, and it's got a very urban feel, but again, the romance is really beautiful in this.
That's great. Okay, so this one is called A Bell in Hand by Athena B.
I like the first thing that got my attention was the movement of the cab, and pretty much nothing else. For the most car next to it, yeah, it's kind of like, but the main thing is shooting at night, which is not easy. It's a very high contrast situation, and just the feel of the like a 50s movie set sort of a thing. It's really interesting. The lighting is very interesting. The movement is interesting. And the basic feel, the person against the wall on the left-hand side, I wouldn't mind seeing a little more of her, but that's another element that balances out the car. And just the feel of it, you know, at this stage of the game, Laura, I think more in terms of visceral, the way it hits me emotionally, rather than the technique.
Yeah.
I think it's the point where it's all about emotion to me at this point. This has a very nice feel to it, you know.
Yeah, it does. Nice contrast, too. Really nice. Okay, well, now we're going to move on to the amateur winner. And this one's called OC Decay. So, Tony, what do you think about this particular image with that, you know, black and white kind of soft feel about it?
Well, the composition is dynamic. It does pull your eye down that slightly bent C curve. So it does bring the viewer into the scene, which I like a lot. If it were me, I would probably try to separate the building a bit more by perhaps adding structure and maybe darkening the sand just a bit, and maybe bringing the blacks down in the sky to darken that to separate it. But in general, just a little more contrast in those two areas would help tremendously. It's a very nice, very simple, very clean composition. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the composition is beautiful, and also, you know, usually with these urban type images, they're kind of gritty and high contrast. And this one's a little bit softer, so it's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, different contrast. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, we're both fans of Tonality Pro by Macphun, which is, you know, fantastic black and white conversion program. And, you know, there's ways to really darken up those skies and bring out the structure and these details really easily as well. So, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I just actually used that tonality on a shot that's online from Iceland, where the actually blended in the sky from a different preset.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped in a grad and really made the clouds very, very dramatic. So you might want to, if you see it, that's why it looks that way.
Yeah.
That is Tonality Pro at work there.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the People's Choice. Okay, so this is the People's Choice. Congratulations. This is called, let's see here. This one is Metro Misery. And interesting title.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much says it all, huh? So, Tony, why do you think that the people gravitated towards this particular image?
Oh boy, well there's all kind of stories going on inside of that window there. First of all, the expressions are all pretty placid, like they just can't wait to. They're kind of in like drone mode, kind of like just sitting there waiting to get off the thing. So they're just I don't know what they're thinking, but they're all looking out the window, probably not thinking anything, just waiting to get home. tells a great story. There's detail everywhere.
Hmm.
And again, you're looking into a window. You're looking into a particular situation with a lot of different dynamics going on. It's just people are all separated inside. Um, the one person's face is hidden. It's kind of interesting behind the person in the middle.
Hmm.
But yeah, I love these kind of shots. Yeah, I try to get these in Cuba because all the buses are jam packed like that. And when the buses stop in Cuba, you get this kind of thing. People all getting against the window and are all like pressed together. So it's a very desirable situation because it does tell many stories shot like this. So yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah. Well, Tony, let's talk about color versus black and white. We saw some images that had a little bit of color, but a lot of these are black and white. Does it change the feel of an image? Would you recommend that for somebody who's going out doing some urbex type, photography? What's your thoughts behind that?
Well, black and white is always an option, but I think I think it's Cole Thompson, very famous black and white photographer. Cole says that they couldn't quite put it into words until he said it, and I kind of quote him. He said that on some shots he finds color distracting, and I think that's a perfectly valid way to look at that. When you strip the color, all you have is the content, you know, and there's no color to pull you away, so all of your attention is drawn to what's going on. I find black and white more and more appealing as I get older. I don't know what that's a function of. I hope it's good, but yeah, I find black and white to be fascinating. It's fun. You can interpret it any possible way. You can dodge and burn anywhere you want. You can make daytime night, nighttime day. So the possibilities for interpretation, for personal interpretation, are pretty much limitless. That's why I like black and white, because of the interpretive possibilities. And when to go to black and white, boy, that's up to you. I would say based on a lot of texture. If you want to tell more of a story, like in this urban project here, that would be one way to do it. One, I think, a good avenue for that would be in this kind of subject material.
Yeah. I think really converting it to black and white tells a different story. Sometimes it makes it more moody and dramatic, which this certainly does portray. So it's a great image.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to reveal Tony's choice, his grand jury winner. Out of all these images that he had to go through, he picked this particular one, so we're going to talk about that. And congratulations to Reflection. And this is by Nico 2Z. Great image. Tony, tell us why this was the one for you, the grand jury winner.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I keep going through these images back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But the first time I went through, I was like, wait a minute, as soon as I think that, the shot's a winner. Because right away, it's like, okay, what's going on? So it draws me in a shot immediately. What's going on is kind of ironic, because what's a building? What's he doing? Oh yeah, it makes you think about each thing. What's he standing on? Is he on a precipice? Is he over some water? Is that a skyscraper? I like the yellow, I like the blue. It looks to be almost monochromatic, some color elements put into it, which is always a fun thing to do. But what I call the visual irony, where you look at it, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And once you get to that point, you're in the picture, and the picture succeeds at that point. Once you're into it and questioning what's going on, it's successful, in my opinion. And this is a really clever composition, well thought out, the way his feet are placed in the triangle there, just very well thought out. I'm sure it's very spontaneous. If that's, could it be both at the same time, spontaneous and well thought out? I don't know. But that's how it appears to me. It's spontaneous and well thought out and creative and very, very different.
Yeah.
So I think it's really excellent shot. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. And I think that's the real key, is it's a very unique image. And this is a showstopper. I mean, if you're scrolling through a bunch of images, you're going to stop and look at this, like you said, and try to figure out, what is he doing? What is this? And
once you get to that stage, they got you.
Yep. And that's what you want to do, is you want to capture your audience. And this person certainly did that. So that's a great choice. Yeah, I love that.
Great shot. I love it. And Sue I said, Sue, which of these do you think wins? And she picked that immediately.
Yeah.
So I had a second opinion, which validated what I thought. So
Yep, that's great.
Really,
yeah. It's one of the things that's so great about these contests, too, is oftentimes we have that emotional tie to our own images. but putting it out there for other people to take a look at, and you can kind of see, what people kind of gravitate towards.
Sure.
This is one of those examples that I think this person's going to be really well pleased that, his shot got, this accolade of being a grand jury winner. So
Yeah.
congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it also takes some courage to submit to these contests because you're putting like your heart out there.
Yeah.
They're your pictures, so you're kind of putting it out there. So to everyone, I think it's a great thing to do, and please keep it up. It's not
Yeah.
easy sometimes.
Definitely. Well, we're going to go back. I'm just going to kind of scroll through these images here as we talk. And, Tony, great job. Thank you so much for picking up some of these runner-ups to talk about. And like Tony was saying, there's some great images here. All of them have some kind of story and meaning behind them. So just a really great group of images to choose from.
Well, the bottom line, I think, is what hits you personally.
Right.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. Everything's subjective, and you know,
Yep, all kinds. And there's
yeah,
some wide angle shots. There's some, close ups, and all in between. So I think a key is to experiment as well, right, Tony? Get
yeah.
out there.
Oh, always experiment.
Yeah,
Always experiment. Try. Nobody gets hurt with digital. It wouldn't cost you anything after the first 25 or 30,000 bucks. Digital's very cheap, right?
that's right.
So it's not like film, but try everything, whatever you can think of.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't know till you try. You know.
Great. Okay, well, Tony, thank you so much for these great examples that you have here. Really appreciate it. And everyone, do check out Tony's website here. Thank you so much, Tony. Just great insight. And people, please continue to submit your images to these contests. We'd love to see them. And practice, 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 right?
Oh, absolutely. It's all
Yeah.
about practicing and getting out there and getting your work out in the public square. People look at your work, get some feedback. That's how you grow. So keep it up.
That's right. Okay, great. Well, thanks so much, everyone. And thanks, Tony.
Thank you.